You know who I want traded? Hear me out. And this is gonna sound crazy coming from me. I'm on team officially. This is my debut. First time I'm saying it on the pod. I'm on hashtag team trade Trae. Trade Trae. Atlanta's horrible.
Let's talk
Atlanta is
about it,
horrible.
man. Let's
Atlanta
talk about it.
sucks. They stink so bad. And listen, we started talking about it before we took our hiatus. But Trae Young had me sold, bro. Cause I was his biggest hater. He started off the season couldn't shoot for nothing. Started putting on masterclass after masterclass after masterclass. I would always rag on this man about the efficiency. 37% from three this year. I like it. I like it. Turnover still a bit high, but when you're playing with those players and you're the only real ball handler on the team, I understand. DeJounte Murray's a guy who has the talent to average like 8 assists, but has somehow regressed to like five. I don't know what he's doing out there, but it sure as hell ain't passing the ball. It's like DeJounte, his values went down the tank. He's regressed so much from San Antonio.
I think
The only
DeJounte.
the, the only shining light is like Jalen Johnson. That's a positive. Everything else is like you gotta get Trey out of there. That team sucks.
I think DeJounte, and I love DeJounte. I think he's a hell of a basketball player. I just when you're putting him next to like talent, he's somebody that kind of has to be like a very select piece on a very select team. San Antonio looked great because he was the guy. He was basically Trae Young for them. Like he always had the ball in his hands. But coming to playing with Trae Young, who needs the ball and is great with the ball, Dejounte just kind of struggles to fill his void. He doesn't defend the way he used to. He does it in spurts, but he doesn't do it like being an All NBA defender like he once was. So he's just a very like meticulous player that I think has to fit in like the perfect situation for him. But yeah, I'm with you, Gabe. Like, please get Trae Young out of Atlanta. Him with Wemby would feed families for the next 10 years. I would love to see that. Really, I would love to see him basically anywhere but Atlanta right now because they're wasting away just glorious years of Trae Young. They're making it difficult for him to even make All Star games because the excuse is always going to be he's on a bad team. Would just love to see him in a different situation.
Yeah, that organization's just in a dumpster fire right now. I mean,
Yeah, they
we went
suck
from
too.
where John Collins was a few years ago to what we saw him get traded for this offseason, which was nothing. DeAndre Hunter seemingly gets worse, not better. Gave up a bunch of second round picks for Sadiq Bey, and now he's just there. Like like you mentioned, Gabe, Jalen Johnson's been great. That's going to be my claim to fame if he wins MIP this year. Gonna march that one to the hall and make that as my best pick I'll probably ever have in my time of watching the sport. But outside of that, like it's just not working. And like you guys say, a fit next to Wemby obviously is ideal. Pretty sure I saw the stat at some point in time in the last week where he's top three all time in career assists per game, and he's been lobbying to like
I
John
saw that.
Collins
Yeah.
and Clint Capella his entire career, whereas the other two dudes have been throwing to Kareem and have been throwing to Carmelo. Bit of a difference in talent that is feeding these assists. So like Trey knows how to play make. He knows how to be the engine to an offense, and I I don't know if San Antonio would be willing to pull the trigger, but that is an absolute match made in heaven with the fact that Wemby and Trey would be a hell of a duo, and those guys are in desperate need of a guard. I don't know if they have an offer that would entice Atlanta because the best player they're probably willing to give up is Keldon Johnson, and he's been terrible this year. But I don't. A bunch of picks, maybe. We'll see.
Man, I'll trade. I would trade 4 first round picks if I can get Trae Young
one Hundred
with
percent.
Wemby.
With
I would trade.
Wimby, yeah, that's all you need really. Just Trey, like Wimby needs nothing more than a good playmaker, and you're not finding much better that's available than Trey Young. If finding much better than Trey Young, period.
Top
And,
1%.
and Trey Young, like you guys were talking about, needs that like generational type big man, like those other two guys who are at the top of the assists. That could be Wimby. So I mean, they need each other more than anything, and him getting traded there, like I feel like Pop could make it work on the defensive end if anybody could. He could fit a defense.
Wemby could make it work on the defensive end. Let's be real.
I mean,
Wemby
y'all talking
would
about
make
the
it work.
offense. Y'all talking about the offense. I'm thinking about the defense. Even though Trae Young's been having the best defensive season of his career, just look. Even if Trae Young's getting picked on, Wemby's cleaning everything up at the rim.
That's true.
And
You blow by him all you want. Don't matter.
Like
Wemby be
real
there,
talk.
Sohan be hanging out on the wing. If he doesn't get
Yep.
moved in that, like you're fine.
Nah, but get Sohan off the team, bro.
Nah, he's been better since they finally started to relegate him out of that stupid point guard role they were trialing him at. But he's actually been pretty good the last month or so.
Like I said, I respect the idea, but yeah, that was a failure. For
Not
sure.
that Keldon Johnson point guard minutes were any better. I don't know why they tried that after I was
tried
his
it.
biggest fan a couple of years ago, and it's just been downhill ever since for him, unfortunately.
He got paid and just kind of went back to not being that good.
Yeah.
Gosh, they tried everything at point guard except for Trae Jones until like the last month. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? But yeah, I'm glad you said that, Gabe. Yeah, Atlanta actually might be the worst. I don't know. Brooklyn's bad. Atlanta's bad. Charlotte's really bad. Washington's not much better. It's a lot of just teams in the East that just have just poor organizations, man.
Bro, Atlanta literally has a generational player who stays healthy. That's the difference between them and Charlotte to me. Is LaMelo is always injured, but Atlanta has a generational talent who is always healthy, always playing, and they're still this ass.
And they have talent on the team too. Quinn Snyder's not a bad coach. It's just like I don't know. It's just like what the hell's wrong with this team?
It's just a lot of mid. There's no one who's actually good. Well, to be fair, I'll give credit to Bogdanovich. He's had a great year off the bench this year. But outside of that, it's like him, Trae, and Jalen Johnson. Outside of that this year, it's just like, okay, you guys are fine. But like, what are you actually doing for us?
I haven't heard a word from AJ Griffin all year. I don't even know if he plays.
Not much.
If he wasn't on the team, I wouldn't know because I have not heard anything from him all year. And he's somebody I wanted to see take a slight step in the right direction this year because I thought he had a solid rookie year when he played. He got minutes.
Multiple game winners.
Yeah. Shoot the ball pretty decent. Like, man.
AJ Griffin has played 18 games this year and is averaging 7.3 minutes a night.
That's sad.
To be fair to the decisions of Snyder, he is shooting 29% from the field and 27% from three in those minutes, so he hasn't exactly earned more playing time, but still would have been nice to see some more consistency after he was, as you say, as good as he was in his rookie season.